And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with the Game Boy Geek.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, today we are going back to the 1940s in the heyday of Las Vegas. We're going down the strip, we're going to be developing lots of land, we're going to be building up casinos. We're going to be sprawling into other people's lots. We're going to be reorganizing and trying to become the boss and doing some hostile takeovers. And of course it wouldn't be Vegas if we weren't gambling at people's casinos, right? And rolling dice and having all sorts of fun. Today we're looking at Lords of Vegas from Mayday Games. 2 to 4 players. The box says 60 minutes, 60 to 90. I'd say it's about accurate. Most games took about 60 minutes for us, maybe a little more, 75 minutes. It is a sort of a press your luck, American style game. Interesting. Let's check it out. I'll show you what I think on the other side. So we have Lords of Vegas set up. We've got 3 players playing here right now. We've got the board, we've got cards set up. Everyone, to start the game, starts with 2 lots notated by these chips of their colors. So the red player randomly drew these 2 lots, the blue player and the green player has these lots. Take a closer look at the board. Now, as you can see, all the blocks are labeled, sort of like F1, F2, F3, Las Vegas Boulevard, Harmon Ave. These are actually the real streets in Vegas. And you can move over here and you can see all the different blocks that are there. You can also see millions of dollars there. That's how much it costs to build on these things. And over the course of the game, we're going to be building, we're going to be gambling, we're going to be overtaking other people's casinos. So let's take a look at how a turn works. And to show you first the different casinos, we have Albion Partners, which is purple. We have Sphinx Development, kind of goldish. Vega Alliance, which is the greenish color, Tivoli Concepts, and Pioneer Group. Those are the different casinos in the game. And as you can see, that those 6 cards for the 3 players, each one got 2 cards to start the game. They all pretty much told them where to place their thing. We had F2, for example, and that's where we get some starting money as well for that. So on a turn, the first phase is draw. So the person whose turn it is will draw a card, and we'll see what happens. This is Sphinx, and it's C2. So this person gets a free lot of land on C2. We sort of place this over here where the Sphinx cards are, and that player gets to put the lot on C2. We would take his color chip and put it there. This actually denotes that this person now owns this lot of land, because all this is just dirt right now, but that's a lot of land and we got it for free by drawing that card. After that's placed, everyone gets paid out for their lots, 1 million per lot. So blue has 3 lots of land, that's his, he'll get 3 million, green will get 2 million, red will get 1 million. This happens every round. Then we go into his play phase. You get a little player aid here with the game that shows you can do build, sprawl, remodel, organize, and gamble. We're gonna walk through these to show you the different things you can do on your turn. We're gonna start with build. Now you can build on any place that you have a lot that you own it. So in this case, if I want to build here, it'd be 9 million. If I want to build here, it'd be 6 million. So let's say I just took the cheaper route and I built here and put 6 million. We see that there's a die on here. This would come off. And we see a die of number 2. Essentially what we do is we'd pick which casino we want, and we'd end up putting our 2 die right on there. That's our casino. Now each of these 5 colors represent the 5 casinos I showed you earlier with all the cards. So typically you'd look to see what's out there. Now I believe there's 9 cards of each casino. So we can see which ones already have the most cards out, which means they're the least likely to come up and pay out later on. And Vega hasn't even been drawn yet, so they have the most chance of being paid out later, so we'll probably build Vega. So I'd take the Vega Casino, put it right around my die, boom, there is my Vega Casino. It's 1 lot long, and I have a number of 2. We'll get to what that means later, but that's building. And you can do as many actives as you want or can afford on your turn, except gambling you can only pretty much do once. But let's go into sprawling. You can sprawl any time, but it's something that typically happens a lot more towards the end of the game when you have a lot more money. What sprawling means is anywhere that you are the boss of a casino, and by being a boss of a casino, it means that you have the largest die in the casino. So for example, if this was one large casino of the brown one, which is Pioneer Group, and you owned all of that, and the red player actually owned this one here, this is one large casino of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. Now, it's one large casino, but the blue guy team is the boss of this casino because he has the largest die in here. So if he wanted to what's called sprawl, he could sprawl into this spot here. It costs double the amount. So he would have to pay 18 million. But if he did, he could go like this and put his die on there and put the die the same value that's on here, which is a 3. And now he owns a casino that's 6. And this is really big towards the end of the game. And that's how you sprawl. It's a little risky because by sprawling, you can only sprawl into an empty lot, meaning I couldn't sprawl into someone's lot that's already bought. Which means this card is still in the deck. So if later on their turn, when somebody picks up the card at the beginning of their turn during the draw phase, and it's the F9 tile, let's say the red guy did that, he would get to replace the other person's die with this because that guy sprawled onto that lot that actually ended up being that player's. So sprawling is very useful towards the end of the game to expand your casino, but it can be a little risky. The next thing you could possibly do is reorganize. This will start fights in the game, I guarantee you. I have not been so steamed in a game than some of the reorganizations I've seen. Here's one big casino of Pioneer. It's 6 big. We've got 4 die of blue, we've got 2 die of the red team, and this guy is the boss of the casino. The red guy, let's say it's the red person's turn, he could reorganize, which means he could re-roll all the die here. But you have to pay 1 million for each pip that is on here. So it would cost him a total of 17 million and he must roll all the die. So essentially he's going to take up all the die and re-roll every one of these in hopes that he can now have the largest die and sort of do a hostile takeover and be the largest die here. Ooh, he did. He rolled a 6. Look at that. So in this case, this red person had paid 17 million and he now has the largest die and now he is the boss of this casino, which is huge because you only score points when you're the boss. We'll get into point scoring later, but that's how you reorganize. Another thing you can do is remodel. Now, let's say we got the green guy here who's his boss of his own only one casino here, and the blue person is the boss in this casino. Now, let's say it's the green player's turn. He can remodel, which means he can change which type of casino he has. He has to pay 5 million per tile in my casino. So if I had like four of these gold Sphinx ones, it would be 4 times 5 or 20 million. In this case, I only have one, so I could pay 5 million and remodel, which means I can remodel from that type of casino to this type of casino. And now I went from a casino of 1 to a casino of 2, and I'm still the boss because I have 5. So remodeling is an easy way to do a hostile takeover of someone else's casino. Also, remodeling is a good idea when you have a casino where all the cards are pretty much out and there's some that haven't been really played that much. You could try to remodel yourselves to one of the lesser played casinos, knowing that the probabilities of those coming up later in the game are going to be better. And so you pay money up front to remodel, hoping that you'll get more paydays down the line. The last thing you can do is gamble. You can only do it once per turn, but essentially you go into somebody else's casino. You can gamble up to 5 million times however many lots that casino takes up. So let's say he had a casino of too large and you wanted to bid 10 million and gamble his casino. The owner of that casino can, if they want to, decide to only allow half of that amount to be gambled. So he can say, no, you can't gamble 10, you're only gonna gamble 5. So what happens is that person who's gambling there will roll 2 dice and he rolls a 10. If he rolls any of these numbers, he wins the exact amount that he bid. And he would win it and steal it from that casino that he was gambling at. If he does not hit any of these, he loses that money to the casino he was gambling at. Now, the house actually has about a 5% advantage. It's about 55% to 45% in favor of the house. So why would you gamble? Sometimes you'd gamble if you're just a few million short of doing a big move that you need to do that turn, and what the heck, you just roll the dice and gamble, try to win it, because if you do, it's going to set you up for a big move. So let's talk about what else happens on a turn when somebody draws. So let's pretend it's someone's turn again. They draw, it's Pioneer, and it's A1. So again, they're gonna get this lot A1. Everyone's gonna get paid out 1 million for however many chips they have as lots on the board. And then this casino is gonna pay out. In this case, it's Pioneer. So what happened is all the casinos at a Pioneer are first gonna pay money and then pay points. In this case, there's only one casino that has Pioneer. Let's take a look. First of all, for anybody that owns in Pioneer, you're gonna get the $1 million for every die pip you have in that casino. So here's the Pioneer casino, and the red player is gonna get 9 million because he has 6 and 3, 9. This guy's gonna get 16. There's 10, 4, and 2. The blue player's gonna get 16 million. Now, that's money. You can't win with money, but money helps you do things. Now we go to points. Whoever is the boss of any Pioneer casino is gonna get points. 1 point for every lot that's part of that casino. This is one large casino. 6 is the highest number, so red is the boss here. So he's going to get 6 points. So red would move his, boom, right down to 6. Now there are some cards here that aren't just casinos. Some of them say the Strip. And those goes up here, and essentially they get the same thing. They get a lot at F8, everything would pay out, but instead of paying out one casino, all the casinos on the Strip get paid. And the Strip essentially is Las Vegas Boulevard. So any casinos that are owned up touching the Strip are considered the Strip and would score. So in this case, this one large casino would get paid out, and this smaller casino would also get paid out. You'd do the same thing. You'd do the money first, the number of pips, and then you do the number of points. The boss would get as many points as however many lots there are. This brings us to one of the coolest mechanics in this game is the scoring track. Now you can see all this is normal scoring, but then when you get here, you see these 2s. And what this means is, in order to jump here, I need to get a score of 2 in order to do that. You score all your casinos individually, starting with the smallest number and going up. So if I scored, but I only had a casino of 1, boom, boom, it kind of hits this and doesn't go over because it needs at least 2. If I had a casino that had paid me out that was too large, that I was the boss at, I could jump there. Boom, essentially it's 1, 2. I go from 8 to 10. If I had a casino that was 4 large, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. I only moved 2 spots, but essentially it's 4 digits from 8 to 12. This gets very interesting towards the end of the game because you always have to get larger and larger casinos, and you have to get multiple of them to really move up towards the end of the game. Because look at this, you need at least 3 to move up, and then at least 4 and 5. And essentially, it's almost like a catch-up mechanic because it gets really hard to do this, and it allows other people to start coming up, which makes the games almost always very close. Now this continues until we get the game over card. This card is exactly about 1/4 from the bottom of the deck, or 3/4 down the top of the deck. Once it's over, all the casinos on the Strip pay, and then you adjust all the scores, and the one with the highest score is the winner. If you're tied, the one who has the most money is the winner. Speaking of money, the game comes with paper money, and as you can tell, I haven't even opened it because I play this game with poker chips, and it makes it so much more fun. Granted, this game should have come with poker chips, but again, it probably would have made the cost of the game too high, so I understand why they didn't. But man, playing poker chips in this game in Vegas makes it feel like you're in Vegas. But that's how you play Lords of Vegas. Lords of Vegas. Wow. It's 4 years old now. It came out in 2010. This is a very underrated game. This game is excellent. It's awesome. In fact, I know I'm doing a top 100 list later this summer. And if I was to make it today, this is easily my top 10 favorite games in my entire collection. Love this game. Let me tell you what I liked about it so I can help you figure out if you might like it. Whew. It's easy to teach. It's not super complex. The theme comes out great. The whole Las Vegas theme. Plus, if you play this with poker chips, it totally feels like you're in Vegas. Now, I like how on your turn you can do as many actions as you want and as many as you can afford. I like that as the game goes on, strategy always changes. Sometimes you're merging casinos. Sometimes you're trying to get other casinos on the other side all by yourself. I love how you can trade with people at any time. I don't even know if I mentioned that in the overview video, but you can trade at any time different things. You can trade dice, you can trade money, you can trade lots. And that was huge in this because, again, negotiation and trading, I love that. Lots of interaction. The decisions that you can make are just, there's so many of them that you'll never feel like you're stuck. And I really like that about this. Also, gosh, there is a lot of randomness in this game, more than I typically like. Because, you know, when you reorganize, you're going to be rolling dice. When you gamble, you're going to be rolling dice. But I didn't mind it because it really fit the theme. You're in Vegas. You're supposed to be gambling. Luck is supposed to be a part of it. Even the cards that come up that you draw where your lots are is luck. So there's a great deal of luck in this game, but the strategies behind that, you can still be dealt a different hand, maybe a worse hand from your buddies, but if you have the right strategy, you can still win in this game because that really cool scoring aspect of how people have to bump up against those higher scoring numbers. I was ahead of one of these guys 7-0 in a 2-player game. He ended up coming back and beating me. So I love that you're never out of this game. You can come back quickly, and I like that about it. It never overstayed its welcome. 60 minutes, it's done. Maybe 75 minutes, and you're done. I've heard a lot of people say it stinks with 2 players. Baloney. I played it with 2 players, and it's awesome. It's still really good. I can barely think of anything bad I can even say about this game, other than it came with paper money instead of poker chips. That's it. Other than that, this is an excellent game. If you like a little bit of randomness, and definitely has a little bit, or a lot of it actually, if you like player interaction, if you like trading, if you like tenseness, if you like a game that could flip over in a minute, where you could be winning and one move could really flip things over, but then it could flip back. It's very up and downness. If you like that, you're going to like this game. If you're a true hardcore Euro gamer, you want to stay on your own, you don't want to mess with other people, you don't like randomness, stay away from this game. You're going to hate it. For all others, check it out. Lords of Vegas, underrated, awesome, awesome game.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.